right here on a Wednesday on the hottest show on the streets, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have all of you checking us out on this evening. As always, we bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you on YouTube. And speaking of a channel, go ahead right now if you haven't done so. Stop what you're doing. Hit subscribe right now. Tap that subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button. Get every friend, every family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to subscribe as well. Don't forget to tap the like button also. Hit that like button, raise those like levels up right here. Trying to get this out the gate. 50 likes to start the show right here. So hit that like button. Also, daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. All donations welcome and appreciated. Hit that notification bell also to make sure you miss nothing when it comes to your Crimson Tide football news. We got a lot to get to on this evening, and you can be a part of the conversation. Now, how do you do this? By calling 205-448-1358, the number 2. Let your voice be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, that number, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you on this evening. But, John, we start the show off with this, and Alabama fans and Coach Saban, we're looking forward to seeing what one name in particular that was hired to the coaching staff 8 days ago would do. I mean, Alabama brought in Austin Armstrong, defensive whiz kid at 32 years of age from southern Mississippi on February the 13th. He came in highly respected, highly regarded, rising quickly up the coaching ranks to be the inside linebackers coach for your Crimson Tide. Well, after being in Tuscaloosa for 8 days, having a few sips of coffee, maybe reading the newspaper, I don't know what Austin Armstrong was doing, but according to one ESPN's Chris Lowe, Alabama, not the place for one Austin Armstrong. He has dipped out. Crimson Tide losing him, or him deciding to depart to the Florida Gators to serve as defensive coordinator. He is linking back up with Billy Napier. Billy Napier, who is a former Saban assistant. Napier, of whom is the head coach for the Florida Gators right now. Napier and Armstrong have history with each other that goes back to Louisiana and Lafayette. So Napier gets his buddy Austin Armstrong back on his staff, as Armstrong choosing Florida over the Crimson Tide. And a lot of people were wondering, why did the move happen? Why did this have to play out like this? We were excited about having Austin Armstrong in the program, or having a young guy that can recruit, that can create some creativity, add some innovation here at Alabama's defense, as well as getting the inside linebacker position to fly around the football, be dominant, be elite, have fun, crack skulls, and just be a formidable force there at that position. But I mean, Coach Saban typically keeps a list of a short list of coaches. He keeps a short list of guys. So if one does not pan out, he can look at that list and go, okay, where can we go to from here? What would be the next move? And especially with spring ball coming up here quickly, we talk about second to third week of March, Alabama has 2 coaching spots available. Alabama has yet to find a safeties coach. That's one spot. And now with Armstrong taking the Florida job, got to find an inside linebackers coach now. But one thing about it, Saban will find a way to get this done. He will find a way to get the coaches in here that he needs to have in here. Whether you got to have maybe an analyst, coach on the practice field during spring ball, and then find your position coach, in the summer part of the offseason. However Saban has to go about doing this, he will fulfill getting the safeties coach in pocket and having the inside linebackers coach in pocket. But it was just interesting, John, waking up this morning, Austin Armstrong, you just got here. And after you just get here, after you just take a few sips of coffee, maybe take a dip in the water of Lake Tuscaloosa, and now he decides to take his talents to Florida as the defensive coordinator. Best wishes to him as he's trying to rise up higher and higher up these coaching ranks here. But we take our first break on the show. Don't touch that dial, just getting started. Upon our return, we go on the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Want to hear from you. Your thoughts on the move. Austin Armstrong here, and then poof, gone to Florida. We get to your thoughts after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back to the action from the break on a Wednesday, hump day, hottest show on the streets. We're talking Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue tapping that like button, hitting that like button, raising those likes up on the show, subscribing as well. All donations welcome and appreciated. We thank you for making this your spot here to talk Alabama football. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, it didn't take long for the wheels to come off. What happened?
That's the question, Wayne. And what happened with Austin Armstrong? Some are saying that he was offered play calling duties at Florida as the DC, and I get it. You know, every young coach, you aspire to be a head coach at some point, so you have to go through all the channels to do that. I understand he's close with Billy Napier. Their relationship goes back to Louisiana and Lafayette, so I see that in the picture. But just when he was initially hired, a lot of people were excited to see, what could he do with these inside linebackers for Alabama. Now we will never know because prior to spring ball, he takes the move to Florida. But, like I said, Saban's got this short list of coaches. He's looking at this thinking, okay, this one checks out. Who else can I call here to bring in prior to spring practice? Or if I have to wait till after spring practice, who can I get in here to really help this inside linebacker position be what we need for it to be? But a little bit of a shock, but, once again, can you really miss what you didn't know what they would become? Kind of hard to do that, so we'll see how Saban goes about it.
You can't always get what you want. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go. I got a few names in my back of my head. You got a few names in the back of your head there. Who do you think they might get a hold of?
Man, there's a few names in the back of my head. 2 names in the back of my head right now are former Alabama players, and I would love for Coach Saban to make a phone call to those 2, and I'll break down that even more in this next segment. But it's going to be intriguing to see how Saban plays this because knowing him, especially after 2 in back-to-back seasons, You didn't win a national championship. Saban has never let 3 years in a row go by without taking home that national title. So it will be intriguing to see. Before spring ball, does a name come up that Saban grabs? Does he wait till after spring ball? It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I've got a few names too. I'll let you unveil the names here on the show. Anyway, this Brandon Miller thing, I'm not going to start about that. But if I was to call you at 12 o'clock at midnight and ask you, Stephen, bring me my joint. Now, what kind of answer do you think I'm going to get? Anyway, I always remember, folks, sometimes you just got to say no. I mean, that's just the way it is. You lose a friend, you lose one, but just say no. But anyway, everything's going to be all right to that situation, too. But I love all y'all. Y'all make this the hottest show on the street, hottest show in the country, greatest show on earth. Barnum Bailey Circus can't touch this place. I'm telling you what, it's lovely here, son. I'm telling you, it's lovely. I love all y'all. Y'all be safe for the rest of the week. I'll be back next week. I got some stuff to do on Friday, so y'all be safe. Have a great weekend. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate the present Waylon calling into the show on a Wednesday, and it's a painful, difficult, crazy situation involving, Alabama men's basketball. I know Nate Oates has given his statement about it from day one since it happened back January the 15th, where, Miss Jahmyr Harris tragically, lost her life, and, her son growing up without a mom. It's difficult, man. Painful. I know tonight, Brandon Miller is playing against South Carolina, despite his name being lumped up in what happened with the Darius Miles situation and the tragic shooting. But it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. And I guess here, when you look at the cool call topic, when you look at the Crimson Tide, Jalen Hurts, John, when the numbers come out, when the full numbers of his contract come out, the new deal extension, it is going to be eye-popping because everybody's saying Philly's got to pay him. Everybody's talking about this. Philadelphia has to pay him. A.J. Brown, star receiver for the Eagles, is talking about if Philadelphia does not pay Jalen Hurts, then just ship him wherever they ship Hurts off to. This is A.J. Brown. You've got Adam Schefter saying the base of the deal should be north of $45 million. You got other reporters talking about his overall deal could be higher than Josh Allen's 6-year, $258 million deal that was done in 2021. We all remember just the unreal contract that Patrick Mahomes got, the 10-year, $503 million deal. I mean, geez. Now, I'm not saying that Hurts is going to get Mahomes money. I'm not saying that at all. But I think if he gets way north of Josh Allen money, that's going to be real eye-popping. I mean, every penny that Hurts gets, he deserves it, right? Year 3, got the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Should have won if the defense could have gotten a stop. No one. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes for much of the game. 304 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Took this season, and NFL MVP finalist for AP Offensive Player of the Year. Jalen Hurts was 10th in the league for passing yards, 3,701 in the regular season. Finished 4th in the NFL for quarterback rating, 66.4. 4th in the NFL in passer rating, 101.6. Finished 3rd in yards per attempt at 8. I mean, Hurts had a big year. Big year. In the postseason, he had 8 total touchdowns. The guy showed everybody, I'm a star in this league. Star quarterback, star player, star leader, star whatever. I'm a star in this league. So if you're Howie Roseman, if you're Jeff Lurie, you may not give Mahomes money, but if that deal is anything way north of Josh Allen's deal, that's an eye-popping contract. We're going to see soon, those final full numbers of the Jalen Hurts deal. But we take another break here on the show and touch that down. When we get back, I'm going to get into two names that played for Coach Saban at Alabama, that the 7-time national champion might want to consider giving them a call, return home as an inside linebacker. We'll talk about it after this.
Look at all these great players at Touchdown Alabama magazine. Man, wait till I turn up this year. I'm gonna be on the front cover. But what if Will goes off? Or Joe, DeMarco, Chris, Tim, Christian.
Don't wait. Order now at touchdownalabama.com or call 833-483-2624 today.
Christian or Jahmyr.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, people, we're rocking and rolling in here to the action from the break on a Wednesday. Talking your Crimson Tide football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Continue hitting that like button. Give us that thumbs up. Raising those like levels up right there. We appreciate the support from you. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. All donations welcomed and appreciated. Appreciate all that you do, making this your platform to talk Bama football. We're at 58 likes. Let's get this thing to 100, people. So stop what you're doing. Continue to hit that like button. Tap that like button. Give a like there on the show at 58. We're trying to get this now at 100 likes here on the show. But, John, we look at here, who could potentially replace Austin Armstrong as the inside linebackers coach for Alabama? Me personally, there are two names. If I'm Coach Saban, there are two names, probably more than that, but there are two names in particular that stick out in the front part of my mind that if I was Coach Saban, not saying I am him, but if I was him, I would consider making a phone call to, just to gauge how they feel about it. Both of these two individuals played under Coach Saban at Alabama. Both won national championships. Both highly instinctive, highly intelligent. Both guys extremely underrated during their time in Tuscaloosa. And both guys are growing nicely as beginning their coaching careers. The two guys I'm referring to, Nico Johnson and Sean Dion Hamilton. Nico and Sean Dion. Both of those two, I'm Nick Saban, would get a call. Get a call, have their interest gauge. Hey, come back home, coach these inside linebackers. You guys were tough. You guys were physical. You guys grabbed the playbook fast. You guys were instinctive. You guys were highly intelligent. You guys fought through adversity. Most importantly, you guys know the culture, the move, the temperature in the room in terms of the program. And you guys can motivate and get this new wave of athlete back to what we need for it to be in terms of winning titles. Sean Dion Hamilton, Nico Johnson will be two guys if I was Coach Saban, I'll make a phone call to. Starting this thing off of Nico Johnson, I mean, this dude from Alabama, Andalusia, Alabama that being, came in the 2009 signing class, 4-star recruit, played 4 seasons. 4 to 5, played 4 seasons. You know, Nico Johnson was impactful as a freshman, helping Alabama first national championship in 2009 since the 1992 season, helped Alabama to an SEC championship, made the all-freshman team, and in 2011 and 2012, Johnson was huge in helping the Tide go back-to-back national titles. had a small stint there in the NFL, but Johnson now with the Texas Longhorns, he's over there with Steve Sarkisian as a graduate assistant for defensive linemen. So he's right there helping out Bo Davis, another former Alabama coach. So this past season, Nico Johnson helped Texas give up 10 points fewer per game, or 10 points less per game than what Texas gave up in 2021. 2021, Texas gave up 31 points per game, 31.2 points per game, 31.1 points per game. Sorry about that, 31.1. Last year, they gave up 21.6 points per game. So that's a difference of 9.5 points, nearly 10 points per game difference. So Nico Johnson made a difference in his first year there at Texas. Again, understands how to get through adversity, how to fight through adversity, great motivator, played at Alabama, doing well so far as a coach. Coach Saban, here's a guy, understands the culture, the toughness of it all. Bring him back into Alabama. Another guy, or the other guy, Sean Dion Hamilton, came in the 2014 class. Hamilton, a four-star from Carver High School in Montgomery, played from 2014 to 2017. After getting his feet wet in 2014 and 2015, 2016, he became one of the biggest leaders of that crazy, insane 2016 defense. People forget how good Sean Dion Hamilton actually was that year. 66 tackles. He had 9 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, a pass breakup, a quarterback hurry, a forced fumble, 2 picks, including one that came in the SEC championship that year. Did a really good job with helping, with him calling the signals. Reuben Foster was just able to see ball, get ball, that type of deal. And then Sean Dion, unfortunately, got hurt, had the knee injury. So before he got hurt, Sean Dion was the real deal before the injury kicked in there. So, the guy, Alabama, 2-time national champion, 2015 and 2017, a 3-time SEC champion, 2014 through 2016. Another guy, highly underrated, tough, physical, very smart, extremely bright dude. Here's a guy that, despite the NFL not going the way he would have wanted it to go, he's a defensive assistant with the Detroit Lions on Dan Campbell's staff. And for the longest of time, the Detroit Lions were just terrible. The Lions had a winning season last year, people, 9-8. Give it to that, Sean Dion Hamilton on that staff helping out there. He was down at the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, coaching defensive backs. He paid a lot of respect to Coach Saban for what he does, the work he puts in, the hours that he deposits in terms of coaching and getting the players to where they need to be as athletes and young men. So, for me, Nico Johnson, Sean Dion Hamilton are 2 guys that if I'm Coach Saban, I'm making a call to, just to gauge their thoughts, just to gauge how they feel, just to see if this would be something they want to do in a fit for them. Because, you already got Ha Clinton Dix back in here as the director of player development. You've already got Josh Chapman in here in the player developmental staff. You've already got Denzel Duvall in here doing the same thing. You've already got Jamie Mosley in here as a graduate assistant, or graduate assistant / analyst. So, what's wrong with having even more former players back in Tuscaloosa, invoking the toughness, invoking the mentality of we are going to run over everybody we play in college football, than getting guys that have been in the culture, that have been in the program, that have been coached by Saban, that know what it takes to hold that national championship at the end of each season. But once again, that's just my thoughts there. Sean Dion Hamilton, Nico Johnson would be 2 guys I would most certainly call if I was Coach Saban. But we take this break here, folks, and touch that dial. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. If you were Coach Saban, Who would you look at from a fan perspective to bring in as an inside linebackers coach? We'll talk to you after that.
Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, we're rocking and rolling to the action from the break here. Hottest show on the streets. We're talking your Alabama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got the man John Ivory in the production studio. Continue, people, hitting that like button, tapping that like button. We're 18 likes away from 100 likes. Continue to hit the like button. Give us that thumbs up here. Make us your show, your network, your platform, channel, space to talk Bama football. Even the offseason, we're still rolling here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But right now we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in. Let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Roll Tide, roll. Stephen M., what's going on, my friend?
Doing great, William. Cannot complain here, man. I mean, I know a lot of the people are a little bit disappointed with, Austin Armstrong, who was hired on February the 13th, 8 to 9 days ago, to be the inside linebackers coach. He's decided to take the defensive coordinator position down there at Florida. A lot of people are kind of, why did that have to happen? But at the same time, Saban has his list of coaches that he likes to choose from anyway, so I'm pretty sure at some point soon he'll have the next name pulled up and ready to go.
Yes, sir. I don't doubt that a bit. I believe he's probably got somebody in mind as we speak. Just wanted to touch base with you on this. Did you happen to hear about John Mitchell going into retirement?
I heard about that. John Mitchell is retiring after 29 years of coaching with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, John Mitchell, a tremendous renaissance of a man. I mean, a guy that was one of the first two black players to play football for the Crimson Tide in the Paul Bryant era. Him, along with Wilbur Jackson, I mean, both of those two broke the color barrier when you look at Alabama football. And, both guys were national champions. John Mitchell was a national champion as a coach on Bear Bryant's staff in 1973. I mean, he's in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, a guy that's been just a tremendous coach, a two-time Super Bowl champion. Deserves it. Deserves an outstanding, a strong retirement because he's meant a lot to men and just people in general across the landscape of football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, actually, Wilbur Jackson was the first one to sign, but it was actually John Mitchell, the one that was the first to play. So that's great. So anyway, I'll let somebody else get on here. Roll Tide, brother.
Absolutely. William calling in there from Iowa, talking Crimson Tide football here on a Wednesday. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence.
Jay, what's happening, man?
Chilling, man. Austin got up out of here, man, but I felt like he was a little too good to be true anyway, Steve. That man was a pretty dang good coordinator over there at Southern Miss. And he had them linebackers playing out their mind. I felt like giving him a position as a position coach, that was kind of a little slap in his face anyway.
I mean, I could see him. I could see him, Jay, kind of feeling that way. I mean, like I said, every young coach is trying to rise up the ranks to at some point be a head coach. And Billy Napier down there at Florida, Napier and Armstrong have history from Louisiana Lafayette. You know, Napier saying, hey, bro, come on to Florida. We'll make you the DC. You can run all the calls. Come on down here. And Austin Armstrong is like, hey, why not?
Well, it's another homeboy hire, just like Saban with Steele. There's the homeboys looking out for each other. But you right. I feel like we need to go get old Sean Dion Hamilton, because the way he coached up them guys, the way when he got hurt, and then when Rashawn Evans them stepped in, it was like, hey man, this what I'm seeing. This it's like you could almost tell that he was like, man, this is what y'all need to do and get it right, because you know once he got hurt, the defense didn't fall off at all. It did not.
It did not. Like people forget. Like I mentioned, how good Sean Dion really was. Like pre-injury, this dude could have been a first-round pick. He really could have been a first-round pick. And even though he got hurt, like he had helped Rashawn be right. I mean, he was helping Ruben. Like he was helping everybody. So we always knew he had a coach's mind. Highly intelligent, could break down things quick. He had a coach's mind. It was just at what point would Sean Dion become a coach? It's happened for him early in his career. But if I was Coach Saban, especially after seeing what he did for the Lions, even how he played here in Tuscaloosa, I would certainly give him a call.
And Nico Johnson make a lot of sense too, Steve. You got his captain and already in the program. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and bring him on back on home, Steve, or somebody, man. But then we got to get a bunch of Bama guys in here, man. That ain't saying not trying to move up or contend with their position, but that's gonna love that inside linebacker position like a Bama player and a Bama coach supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Not all this, just get him and then go pump him up.
Jay, I feel you on that. Getting guys that understand the culture and the nature back in here, that love Bama, that breathe it, that sleep it, that love it, and cannot see themselves not being a part of it. I think that's the big thing. Get guys that see themselves. Get guys. It goes back to Coach Saban used to say this. He said, I'm afraid for the day that I'm not part of a team. We need to get guys into the Alabama football program that are afraid to see themselves not be a part of the Alabama football program.
Roll Tide, Steve. I love y'all. Just get some mean back in the program and run the dang ball. I love y'all. Roll Tide.
Appreciate Jay from Florence calling in right there. I mean, that's just my whole thought is get guys back in the program where it means something to them to wear that script A on their chest. It means everything to them to wear that script A on their chest. They are scared to death to not have that script A on their chest. Those are the type of players, those are the type of guys that are needed in the Alabama football program. Guys that they don't even want to think about a moment not having that script A on their chest. But anyway, cool call topic here, folks. So Mac Jones, New England Patriots, there were some rumblings about the Patriots accepting trade offers for Mac Jones. Today, a report came out from Tom Curran. Robert Kraft, the owner of New England, he loves Mac Jones. the competitor that he is, how he's developing as a quarterback. Me personally, I said this on the most recent show, on Monday's show. You can't put everything on Mac Jones. When you have a defensive coordinator calling offensive plays, he's never ran offense in his life, and now he's running offense. You gonna blame Mac for that? You ain't putting Mac in no position to be successful. Your best receiver is a tight end. That ain't helping Mac. Offensive line got the man running for his life. None of these things are setting Mac up for success. And people look at Patrick Mahomes and look at Justin Herbert and look at this guy and that guy. The reason why those guys are succeeding, they either got offensive-minded head coaches, or they got just really, and I mean really good, offensive coordinators. Mac Jones' rookie year, that man was killing it. Why? Because he had an offensive-minded coach in Josh McDaniels. That's why he was killing it. That's why he was dominating. Why he made the Pro Bowl. So you can't go from making the Pro Bowl to having a bad year and it's because, well, you just trash. No. You had a defensive guy calling offensive plays that shouldn't have even been handed the job. You had no wide receivers, period. Maybe one, but your best option was a tight end. And then your offensive lineman. Jeez. That's why Bill Belichick got Bill O'Brien in here. Bill O'Brien, main thing is going to be passing game, vertical attack, stretching the field. In this NFL, and I know Belichick ain't used to drafting great players. He's not used to executing the draft properly, with the exception of the draft class 2021 where Mac Jones came in. But for goodness sake, New England, get receivers. Get offensive linemen. Call Goldberg. Do something. J.G. Wedgeworth. Something in terms of this draft. Because they got to get this thing right. Thankfully, according to a report from Tom Curran, Robert Kraft, but they ain't trying to come off of Mac Jones this offseason. They ain't trying to do it. So hopefully Mac 10 will shut critics up again. Talk about next season. Take a break here, folks, from the show. Don't touch that down. When we get back, we wrap up loose ends. There is one player in particular for Alabama that I'm looking forward to watch burn up the NFL scouting combine. We'll talk about it after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're rolling it back in here to the action from the break. Hottest show in these streets. We're bringing you your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. I appreciate you guys checking us out here on today. Continue to tap the like button. Give us that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Make this your show, your network, your platform to talk Bama football. But, John, of the 13 names representing Alabama football in the NFL Scouting Combine coming up here in the next couple of weeks, there's one name that my eyes will be on a whole lot. I know people are going to be focused more so on Bryce Young and Will Anderson, and rightfully so. But for me, my eyeballs will be on Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama running back. Mr. Gibbs out of Dalton, Georgia, who spent the first 2 years of his career at Georgia Tech, Spent last season at Alabama, and in one season of the young man, 925 yards rushing, 444 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. Led Alabama's receiving core with 44 catches. So Gibbs can do it all. He can run with some power. He can pass block. He can run with speed. He's got great quickness, short area burst, explosiveness. He's got acceleration in the open field. Got great hands at the backfield as a receiver. You can line him up in the slot. He can catch passes there too. I mean, the guy's got a full, complete, dynamic skill set. And apparently, LaDainian Tomlinson, former NFL running back, Pro Football Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer, he played at TCU. LaDainian Tomlinson was on NFL Total Access on Tuesday, and he compared Gibbs to former Alabama superstar Chris Johnson, a.k.a. CJ2K, Chris Johnson. And if you remember Chris Johnson, he came out in the 2008 NFL Draft out of East Carolina. ECU, John, your favorite school there. He came out of East Carolina in 2008. And Chris Johnson at the Combine ran a 4.24 40 and shot up draft boards. He was taken number 24 overall by the Titans in the 08 draft. And CJ2K, his first 5 to 6 years in the league with the Titans, I mean, he had success. He went to 3 Pro Bowls, made NFL first-team All-Pro in 2009. In 2009, he was the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. 2009, he was also a 2,000-yard back. I mean, CJ2K carved out a pretty decent career in the league. Former NFL superstar. And according to LT, Tomlinson here is saying the same type of quickness, style, playmaking abilities that Johnson had, he sees those things in Gibbs. He's saying if Gibbs clocks 4.2 or better in the Combine, he could shoot up draft boards much like Johnson did. And Gibbs is fast. Gibbs has got huge speed to burn. And all he needed was 1 year to solidify himself as a guy with first-round value headed into the Combine. My eyes will be on how fast will he run the 40. Like, how fast can he run the 40? If he burns that 40, then concretely, he's the third first-round pick with Bryce and Will. To me, there's going to be 4 first-rounders for Alabama. Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Brian Branch. I think those 4 will go in the first round. But if Gibbs goes out here at Lucas Oil Stadium and just burns up the 40, definitely first-round pick. If he burns up the 40, could be a top 15 pick if he burns up the 40. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind. In terms of the on-field drills, he'll dominate that. Of a 20-yard shuttle, he'll do well there. Of a 3-cone drill, he'll do well there. Of a 20-yard and 60-yard shuttles, I think he'll do pretty well in those also. I think the majority of on-field testing, he's going to handle that. My thing is, if he flies in this 40, top 15 pick, book it. Top 15 pick, book it. I mean, there are several teams in this first round that could really, truly use a running back of Gibbs' skill set. So it's going to be fun to kind of watch what does he do in the NFL Combine coming up here in the next couple of weeks. That's who my eyes will be on right there, Jahmyr Gibbs. But as always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage here and talking your Crimson Tide. Get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs here, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll try to be back on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, you go at touchdownalabama.com. Click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link in the description. Guys, shout out Ty Alexander with that $9.99 in the super chats, helping us out right there. We appreciate Ty showing love here on the network. I got to shout out all of you, the Alabama football fans, for all the calls, all the chats, all the conversations of making this your place here to talk Bama football. Got to show some love to my man John Ivory in the production studio, handling that business from behind the scenes. As always, people, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands, children. You guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, to not be bored, getting that schoolwork done there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, you protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.